What if I told you that everything you've ever desired already exists? Not as some distant dream, but as a tangible possibility vibrating in the invisible architecture of the universe. Most people hear the word manifestation and immediately think of magic tricks, vision boards, or vague positive thinking. But what I'm talking about is far deeper. At the quantum level, reality isn't solid, it's energy. Particles don't even exist in one place until they are observed. Science calls it the observer effect. Your attention doesn't just notice reality, it shapes it. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, sends out a frequency into the quantum field. This field is a limitless ocean of probabilities. And like a radio tuner, you are constantly dialing in the station you are most aligned with. The problem is, most people are tuning into stations they don't even want. And they've been doing it their entire lives without knowing it. Why? Because we have been trained from childhood to focus on limitation, on lack, on what's realistic. Parents, teachers, society, all telling us to aim smaller, to stay safe, to believe in scarcity more than in abundance. And so, without realizing it, people manifest struggle, debt, heartbreak, and disappointment, not because the universe is against them, but because their frequency is locked to those outcomes. Quantum manifestation is not complicated. It's the most natural law of existence. The only reason it feels difficult is because you've been conditioned to believe in what you see instead of what you desire. But reality doesn't work that way. You don't wait for proof before believing. Belief is the proof. The universe doesn't respond to your wishes. It responds to your state of being. And your state of being is shaped by three things: your focus, your emotions, and your actions. When you hold a thought long enough, with deep emotional conviction, your nervous system begins to respond as if it's already happening. Your body doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. It only knows the signals you send it. If you spend your day replaying worst-case scenarios, you are literally training your body and mind to exist in that frequency. But when you visualize your goal with such intensity that you can feel it in your chest, when you act in alignment with that reality, even when there's no evidence yet, you're tuning into a different station entirely. And here's the part most people miss. You can't fake this. You can't pretend to believe for 5 minutes and then spend the rest of the day worrying. The field responds to your dominant vibration, not your occasional affirmations. That's why so many fail. Not because the law doesn't work, but because they abandon it before the signal locks in. They give up when the physical world hasn't caught up yet, not realizing that the lag is part of the process. The true power of quantum manifestation isn't about getting anything. It's about becoming someone. Think of every possible version of your life as already existing in parallel. The wealthier you, the healthier you, the happier you. You don't create them from scratch. You shift into their frequency. And how do you do that? By living now as if that reality is already here. That doesn't mean recklessly spending money you don't have or pretending you're something you're not. It means aligning your daily actions, your thoughts, and your emotional state with that future self. If the you who already has the life you want wakes up early, takes care of their health, speaks with confidence, and makes bold moves, then you start doing those things now. You start carrying yourself with the posture, the habits, and the discipline of the person who has already arrived. When you do this, The quantum field has no choice but to reflect it back to you, because reality mirrors your state of being. The truth is, most people will hear this and do nothing because change feels uncomfortable. But those who dare to step into the discomfort, to hold the vision when no one else can see it, to trust the unseen, they will look back one day and realize they didn't attract their dream life. They became the person who was already living it. And when you become that person, manifestation isn't something you try to do. It's something you can't stop doing. So the question isn't whether quantum manifestation works. The real question is, will you finally tune into the version of yourself who already has everything you've ever wanted, and stay there long enough for the universe to catch up?